Nothing major that board. Okay, sure, it's not a county. I guess that. This is.
We can have us on this agenda.
It's Charlie.
Charlie and Jim. Soon.
We got everybody with us. All of that. On call the finance meeting for March 19th, Prairie County to order. Roll call, please, Ms. Chilcott.
Mr. Bale,
Here.
Mr. Copeland,
Here.
Mrs. Showerman here, Mr. Scatella,
Here.
Mr. Wertz,
Here.
Mr. Winarski,
Here.
Chairman Drexler.
Here. All right. Number one, resolution number 16, 2026, approval of tentative lease agreement with Troyer Growers Incorporated in the county of Erie for lease of 4 parcels, also known as county farmland. First read was on 3/10. Anyone have any?
Mr. Chair,
No?
the amendment, and the proposed amendment, the resolution to amend the original contract should include a copy of the original contract appended to the amended motion. And in this particular case, county council never approved the original contract.
That's what we're doing here.
Well, the resolution is an approval of wait, no, it's an amended lease. No, what was the? I don't think. I'm sorry. Looking at number 7.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Okay. All right. Number 2, ordinance number 2026, public health fund budget supplemental appropriation of $40,943 for additional opioid settlement funds received from the Office of Drug and Alcohol Abuse. Anyone here to speak?
Yes, this is just extra, or this is additional money that we requested, from the Office of Drug and Alcohol, for, 2 new pilot projects here in Erie. One is gonna be a harm reduction kiosk that will have things like blankets and, pregnancy tests, feminine products, things like that, that our community members can get for free. And the other will be, a safe needle disposal unit. They'll both be outside of our building. The funds included, money, for additional security, a camera, an awning to like protect units, and this is at zero county dollar expense.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 3, ordinance number 2026, library fund budget supplemental appropriation of $127,811 for additional local, district, and county coordination state aid funds. Hello.
Hi, so when we put our request in for our county budget and when the county budget was passed, of course, there was still questions about the state budget. We were pleasantly surprised that there was an increase to the state library subsidy, which allowed us to have funds that we did not anticipate. That's what these funds are. In the request, and I'm starting with the revenue from the bottom up, the county coordination and district funds. Those will be used to purchase a vehicle to replace a vehicle that we have that is reaching end of life and is becoming kind of a maintenance nightmare. The local funds, which would be the $70,060 that are local, we would like to use to purchase a vehicle for Erie County Public Library specifically. To supplement both our outreach program and our bookmobile service, both of which we have requests. We are frequently turning down requests for both services, as well as to serve. We've started a pilot program this school year with one school district that we are now providing school delivery for all students in that school district. And that exceeds our capacity with our current vehicles. So since we have that money there and it would cost the county $0, we would like to use that to purchase that vehicle.
Sounds like a great use of funds.
Our goal is then to, if the pilot goes well, which it is at this moment, to expand that school delivery service to multiple school districts. And then as part of our strategic plan for the next 5 years, be able to serve all school districts. But we like to work out the balance with
No,
a small school district before moving forward. So that's what we would like to do, is just appropriate those funds.
Anyway,
Mr. Chair.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Glad to see you.
Thank you very much.
I don't wanna needlessly be a stickler. I'm just wondering if the vehicle maintenance line item is the appropriate place for a capital outlay. Doesn't vehicle maintenance get put under like services and like? It is a capital outlay line item that should be going into, right? Just for the matching line items to their purpose.
Yeah.
I guess you could pay it out of any line, but does. Is that
Yeah,
the
if you're,
appropriate
if you're
line
actually
item?
buying a brand new vehicle, they could go to an asset fund.
We're happy to spend it out of whichever account you'd like. So if that needs to be amended before it.
So when we go to the second rate, can you amend our exhibit so that it's going out of a capital outlay line?
Sure. Yeah, it should go to a 4,000 line if it's gonna be a purchase of a new vehicle.
Yeah, but that's, because when I first saw it, I was like, holy cow, we gotta put $70,000 in maintenance into a vehicle, it's time for a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, clearly it is time for a new
It is
vehicle,
time.
and so just,
Circumstances, and we do, I'm gonna ask the question that you hate to hear, which is, specifically with the county coordination and the district funds. Those funds, we have to have the bid out.
So the district runs fiscal, as you'll see in the next agenda item, but it has to be expended by June 30th. And these are funds that we're trying to appropriate in order to then put a bid out to purchase a vehicle. So the timeliness of being able to do that and get the vehicle back in order to pay for it out of those funds is kind of important as far as a timeline turnaround.
can you get us an amended exhibit by tomorrow so that we can get it on the?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I can send down a new exhibit A with just the good lines. Yeah,
Sorry, I don't
Stay
mean to make
standing,
extra work,
because the
but
next two are mine also.
number 4, ordinance number 2026 library fund. Is that, am I repeating the same one?
No,
Library fund budget supplemental appropriation of $71,897 for deferred revenue from 2025-2026 state aid district fiscal budget.
so our district funds run on a fiscal year. These will be expended by June 30th, but this is our carryover from last year's budget to this year's budget. And on the ordinance request, it does have the lines. That is voted on by all the member libraries in Erie County and Crawford County, which is what makes up our district. So we work as a group to decide where we're going to divide that money.
Anyone else?
402.
What? Oh, you're talking to someone else. Ordinance number 2026 library fund budget supplemental appropriation of $1,000 for donation from Visit Erie.
So this is just a matching donation. The Friends of the Library are providing $1,000. Visit Erie is matching that to support our Hysteria event this year. Which will be part of PA 250, American 250 and our summer library program.
I love this theory.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my favorite part of library program.
Any questions about any?
I'm good.
Okay,
All right. Thank you very much.
thank you.
All right, number 6, ordinance number 2026, general fund budget revised expenditures of $8,227 and creation of new line items in various departments. Someone want to explain that one?
That one's me. This is really maintenance to the budget ordinance where. Like in the previous years, we have come across a few lines in the budget that are at zero. Inadvertently, the hospitalization lines in the district attorney's one bureau. And the workers' comp line in the HRC. Didn't upload correctly into the budget, so we're just coming back down here to create the line, because you can't do a budget transfer to a zero.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
That had been a past practice that shouldn't have been done. I love seeing us follow the rules.
Yeah. All right, number 7, resolution number 2026, approving an amendment to the agreement between County of Erie and Palmetto Posting Incorporated. Anyone?
This is me, I'm gonna cover this one for Jen Erdl from Revenue and Tax Claim. She is asking to amend the agreement, and Tom, in my copy, I do have the original agreement. On page. Let's say I do. Yeah, that's there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original agreement is there on page 36. We are looking to amend that agreement to go for 5 more years in order for them to continue the postings that are required on a sheriff's sale of a house. They've been doing that for the last several years for us. This company.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. You recall when this, until last year, some period of resolution. Apparently the law was misinterpreted, or a case came down in Commonwealth Court that gave authority to, it had given authority to the third-party agencies, in this case, Palmetto, beside the agents within the claims department, the authority to post. Okay. And so council passed a resolution authorizing Palmetto people to post and deliver the tax notices. And however, at the same time that was happening, the administration entered into a contract. I don't know the exact date of that contract. But it never got before council. It occurred at the same time. So council should not only be approving an amendment to that agreement, but it should approve the agreement itself. And that's why it should be attached to the ordinance, the resolution, so the council could see that it's what's being amended.
It is in our packet.
Pardon?
The previous agreement is in our packet, and we did approve that by resolution last year.
The original agreement?
The original agreement was. We passed the resolution last year, because George Joseph was here to talk on that topic and to get our approval on that agreement.
Yeah, I don't think we approved the agreement. I think we approved.
do have a signed copy.
Yeah, it's on page 42.
Yeah,
You guys.
no, I know that, I know it's signed, but
No, by you guys.
The resolution of us passing it is in the packet.
okay.
Resolution.
Yeah, the resolution, right, I know, but it
Equal, that would
doesn't,
be the servers, not for the agreement. The agreement was signed by the county executive in 2022. And it never came before cap. Approval.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the original agreement was only for a year. And those don't have to come to council if the agreement's just for a year. But this amendment is to amend it for 5 years. I think the reason the original didn't come, because I think it was only a year agreement or less. Yeah, we don't bring the ones that are a year or less down.
either way, council did not see that agreement, and it should be attached to this amendment.
And that is it, it's in there. Yeah.
Should be, you see it's undated, you know, but it should be, the agreement should be approved. The amendment and the original agreement.
Are you asking for a change to the resolution then?
No, the agreement that is attached is unsigned. Or, I mean, it's signed, but it has no date on it. And I don't believe, it may be, you may have a copy of it now, but that was never presented to council for the reason that Patrick said, it was just a year agreement.
I see, Tom, you're saying on page 36, it says the agreement is made and it's blank.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll see if there's an actual copy.
Well,
That
that's okay.
exists that has the
Well-
date on it. I have a feeling there may not be, but I'll check.
I think, like, and forgive me, but I think his point is like, if there was a 1-year agreement, we wouldn't have approved it. But even if it's the same agreement, if it's 5, then it needs to be approved and attached, right? So, right? That's what you're referring to?
Right.
Okay.
And the unsigned one is already attached, or excuse me, signed but undated agreement is already attached. It's just that, in the ordinance itself, it should state that it's, approving the amended agreement and the agreement.
Is that not already, if you're approving an amended agreement, aren't you also amending or approving the original agreement?
Well, the amendment agreement is not that clear. You can tell it's not written by a lawyer.
If you're requesting revised language, can we have that by Tuesday?
Oh, sure,
To put that,
sure, it's not, it's really nothing
okay,
more than. Nothing more than amending the title.
Okay. We're gonna move forward with that then. You'll revise whatever you're gonna send it.
Regular agenda. Thank you.
Are you good if we move on, Tom?
Pardon?
Are we good if we move on? You're still looking at the.
No, we just, you know, I could tell Karen right now what to change.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
go, yeah,
Yeah, not a problem.
okay. All right, number 8, resolution number 2026, approval of an application to the Municipal Assistance Program with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development for Erie County Land Use Plan.
Still, I'm the director of planning, and I just wanted to introduce J.Lo for just 1 second here. We bring these MAP grants to you frequently for our planning needs. We are required to do these plans on a frequent basis, and we do engage the municipalities heavily in the stakeholder groups as well as helping them to have these plans for implementation rather than having to actually go through the planning process themselves. But thank you for your considerations, and Jill will give you the details.
Yeah, so the planning department's gonna be applying for a DCED municipal assistance planning grant for $78,934 so that we can get our plan redone. It was last done in 2003 as part of our comprehensive plan. The PA Municipal Planning Code recommends that these are updated every 10 years. So we're a little bit behind, so it's really need to get it done within the next year or so. So we're gonna be getting a consultant with the money to do the plan for us. It is 50% match required, so planning is willing to put up some money for that we have left over from LATCF funds back from ARPA times. And then we would need 25,000 from the county in 2027 if possible. If not, I'm willing to look into other funds for that, but right now I just need the resolution to actually apply for the grant.
Question?
When we originally talked about this, we were talking about the county match. You're saying you're paying out of an existing line item this year. But we'll need to be making sure we plug this in for the budget for 27.
So the LATCF money isn't necessarily budgeted for anything specific, we kind of just hold it in planning. Like it's not, it has no specific purpose right now, so if we needed to, we could rebudget it in the 2027 year. It just kind of depends on when the MAP grant gets approved, because last year, the spring round didn't get approved until like late November. So then obviously we wouldn't need this money until 2027 year.
So you do have that appropriated in the line item in this year's budget.
Correct. Basically, once if you allow them to apply for the grant, if the grant's actually awarded, then we would come back down with another ordinance to put the lines in. If it's in 25, if it's in 26, we'll do it in the, 27. We'll come and we'll put it in the budget.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Anyone have any other questions? Thank you very much.
I do.
What?
I'm sorry.
You have another question?
Explain like I'm five. What's a land use plan?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just gonna make they'll go through all of the municipalities across the county and pretty much make recommendations of where things could be improved land use wise. So like they might make zoning recommendations, or they might say, like residential zoning would be recommended here, or you could use commercial properties in this area to make your municipality better. And they'll go between the municipalities, talk to municipal leaders and kind of find out what their goals are as far as like how they would like to develop. And then they'll give us like how we can implement those goals to kind of make like the county better.
Words of the new thing.
All right, number 9, resolution number 2026, approving 2-year courthouse cafe agreement between the county of Erie and Crystal Robinson doing business as Taste and See.
Mr. Chair, if I could, couple points, I think Mrs. Robinson was here. Did you want to speak? No. Well, I saw you were here, I just wanted to ask first, okay, sorry, you're on the spot. The other, I guess the other point that the administration has is we would seek some clarity moving forward in terms of the process of approving a lease. Because we're now looking at these for 2 readings. And it was our interpretation in the code that council simply needs to approve a lease. And so we would like the clarity moving forward, when we bring a lease to you for approval, is that going to require 2 readings? Because in this instance, we were planning on an opening that may have to be pushed back now if this is going to require a second read. And so that question has come up. And in the administrative code, it just simply says council has to approve the lease. It doesn't say 2 readings. Typically resolutions don't have that. If that's the policy, I think we maybe need to clarify that so that we can give an appropriate time frame to whomever is involved with that lease, because right now we've been giving a time frame based on 1 reading. So we would seek that clarity, and if the official policy, or if there is a policy that we're not aware of, then I would ask that if it is 2 readings, that we would move this to a second read so that we can let Ms. Robinson move forward with her business. So I guess I have 2 asks.
The second one, as a best practice, we have taken on, the role of making sure that we have put these leases through 2 weeks, prior to some of us arriving, there's been some lease agreement. Stuff that's, been a problem. And, we wanted to be able to go through this. I mean, at any time that we have a scenario like this where you have brought us something and you didn't know and. You already have something set up, right, for the opening. It's, more than appropriate to ask us to, consider doing it, faster, right? To be able to move that forward. So, I mean, if my colleagues have any will or questions or anything like that, I mean, I don't have a problem with moving this forward. To the second read, I mean, like normal, I just.
Well, and to your point, because we were talking about this. I need to get in motion on this, been a little bit frozen on. Doing a review of the administrative code, because. The previous events that caused us to take up the habit of going through 2 weeks to have more public transparency, so people see it, right? Or an opportunity to respond to it. I think that. There should be a look at an administrative code revision to clarify. I do think it's a very good practice to have 2 reads on leases of government property. But we also always have the ability to move it to a second anyways. So I don't see any reason why this one can't move to a second myself.
So I guess then the administration would ask that we formalize that somehow by amending the code, because right now. That's not the case.
We need to.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, the way you read the code is the way council and the administration have used it, interpreted it, and implemented it forever. About a year ago, though, a Commonwealth Court decision came down interpreting the Sunshine Law to require 2 readings for written leases. It didn't say leases that are a year or longer or a year or less. But it was just a general statement. Council has been following that without changing the administrative code. As Rock pointed out, he's leading a committee to review the administrative code. I don't know if he's recruited anybody from the administration, but that is one of many changes that have to be made to the administrative code to bring it up to practice. So if we want to follow the Sunshine Act, then it requires 2 readings. Now, since this is, the second issue, whether council could move forward on this and, waive 2 readings and just approve it Tuesday, the problem, there's other problems with that, because I didn't even read this yet. I just got it. But so council has just a few days to review this and then decide whether it's right or not. However, I think the council, in this case, since it is only a year lease, they could move.
It's 2-year lease.
They can, if they want to, see where the votes fall, but move to waive the 2 reading requirement, see what happens.
Well, and again, to the larger picture, clarifying that in the code would be very helpful for both. Right. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to move it to a second one that we.
You want it on the agenda as first read, or how do you want it on the agenda?
It has to be the agenda as a first read. Motion to move it.
It has to be on first read, and then council has to vote. They need 5 votes to waive the second reading.
Anyone else? All right, number 10, Patrick, this is your time to shine.
My favorite part. If all the ordinances in front of you are approved, the county is in compliance with the requirement of 2 months general fund expenditures and unrestricted fund balance by $22,819,624.
Then we just printed on that file.
Well, the finance committee meeting, or no, I'm in a different spot now. 3 months. Oh, the personnel committee meeting to order. Jump right in. 2026 appointed official salary, Director of Human Resources. That's exciting. Who's speaking to that? I don't expect Kyle speaking to his own wages. No.
So, yeah, sorry. So yes, for you is, request to appoint our new, Director of Human Services. You've heard me say before, we really, like to promote from within. Got that opportunity again, so we're excited that, we think we found, the right person to move that department forward.
Is that, I don't know, is everybody aware of this selection?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah.
And so we're just requesting that you approve that appointment. I believe all the numbers are attached, showing the difference in the adjustments to salaries. Also, the restructure of the department itself. We think that there's some opportunity to move some pieces around. And actually, Kyle, if you don't mind speaking to that part of it.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. They're sort of tied together, but yeah, I guess we'll speak to that number two.
Patrick, exhibit A showing us, you're just exhibiting the savings, it's not putting it to the fund balance, it's just, this is the change in the structural cost, but the budget is
Unchanged, correct. I was trying to come up with, bit of, not a new way, but a bit of, instead of asking for a supplemental appropriation for something that say is under 25,000 or 50,000. Or we could call them revised expenditures. And in this case, it's savings, so I'm putting the savings to the professional fee line item. Because I don't need to alter the entire county budget.
But this, I can make a suggestion.
Yeah.
So. Going into number two, that's made more clear where on the budget revised expenditures are, right? It's just a transfer.
Correct,
So
but
I like that you're showing us your savings that we have. But I don't think it needs to be language in the ordinance itself. Which this one doesn't, this one is just appointed official salary. And doesn't say revised expenditures, but.
correct. A little bit different on, because you're appointing, because it is an appointed official, so you have to pass the salary, the exhibit. Really isn't necessary on that
Oh,
one,
that's
we
it.
could skip on an appointed official for salary, but we like to show. The complete changes. And in this case, I do need the numbers because the insurance coverage is different between the outgoing and the incoming. So I want to shore those lines up for us. And I was talking to Colin a little bit beforehand, and a lot of these exhibits are revised expenditures that look like they could be transfers. But what you're looking at really is exhibit A and B. What you're approving in the ordinances is really exhibit B. B drives A, B feeds up to A in the exhibit, so anytime. I kind of would like to reverse them at some point and call A the salary and the people part, and then B just the numbers. I mean, we're not gonna do that, but. That's the reason you always have one of these, you will always have one of these attached to any type of salary change. I always want to show and be crystal clear as to all the line items affected. So really what you're passing is the request and the ask in B exhibit. If that makes
Mr.
some
Chair.
sense.
But as you pointed out, since this is for the human resources salary, that's not, they're not subject to the pay plan or the purchasing code, so it's just between council and administration.
Yes.
But the next item is, apropos to what you just said.
Yes, so next ordinance.
Let's get to the next item.
Next slide.
2026 general fund budget revised expenditures of $6,678 for reorganization. of The Human Resources Department.
All right, so. We'd like to propose a reorganization that will result, this all kind of ties in, but will result of a net savings of $6,693.75. Basically, there's three changes that we took a look at our department and the changing needs of our department. We, the first one, we looked at our department and felt like we're a bit top heavy. And so there was 3 management staff. So we're proposing a downgrade to the manager position, bringing that down from a 15 to a 13 to bring it on an equal playing field to the rest of the HR generalists in the office. The second change is a 1 grade upgrade to our HR generalist that provides similar level of services countywide. They do our benefits as our other HR generalist, so it's bringing some equity, bringing that 112 up to a 13. And then the last change would bringing up the job duties and responsibilities of our HR specialist up to an office administrator based on the changing needs of our department. All of this would result because the downgrade of the manager position would result in a savings of $6,693.75.
And
And then what I'd like to add on to that is, instead of calling it a supplemental appropriation or a savings, I'm gonna keep the $6,678 within the human resources budget. I don't wanna lower their budget by $6,000. Again, what I think, we come up with maybe an amount. I don't need to return $6,678 to the fund balance every time we do one of these, because that's just a lot of excess, not necessary stuff. And in this case, it's really needed because the professional fee line item in human resources can use any boost that it can in the current year because it's contract negotiations, and will likely be coming down to ask you for more money in that line item if we go over our fees for, solicitors for contract negotiations. So that's why I want to keep that one there.
so one thing I need to tease out, the HR office administrator, the 3 new positions. Are they whole cloth new positions or are they existing titles that you're reusing?
The office administrator is a new title, keeping same responsibilities, but adding to their job responsibilities, resulting, that's why we are asking for an upgrade.
Is it in effect a reclassification for the 3 new positions? Or is it?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, one of them is lower, keep that in mind. So we have the manager position right now where we are completely changing that role and have them focus on our technology, our systems. That's a big need in our office. So one of them is lowering classification, but the other 2 are increasing classifications.
Reclassifying existing job titles.
Our job titles and responsibilities.
And responsibility.
Yes.
Right, the
And great.
reclassification, that should come with both, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I just don't want to say it's just we're giving them more money, right? We are asking them to do higher level work.
I think essentially it just boils down to, for an office of that size, they just determined that they didn't need to have 3 managers for an office of 9 or 10 folks.
Mr. Chair. Actually what this is it's 3 new job classifications. It's an amendment to the pay plan. And it should be presented as such. Each job should be listed. And the change in their classification should be identified as well as their hourly rate. That's where you need council's approval. But this, and you could say that it's, at the same time, you could call it you know, a reorganization of the employees, that's fine, but I think council has to approve of each job reclassification, and they should be listed.
And that's exhibit
And
B.
typically, as with any raise, it should go through the department to the director of the, well, in this case, it is human resources.
Right.
But they have to sign. And then if they go to the, finance advisor, and then the administration, and that's one of those reclassification forms.
Yep, we do have that for
Yep.
these, those were.
So all of that should be passed.
Tom,
Those were.
I can interject. I think that you might be pointing more towards the language of the ordinance itself. That the ordinance itself, right, because our office wrote the ordinance, right? And we wrote the draft ordinance.
I didn't.
It's based on the information that was sent to the office.
So I think they might have sent it down right, but we need to clarify the reorganization, the language of the ordinance, right?
Well, this is not the first time this has happened, and I'm just trying to help the administration out so that they know that when it comes to any kind of change in employee salary, that there's a particular procedure that you have to go through.
Yep.
In the personnel code, and then the attachments and all that. And yeah, you wouldn't understand from the title of this, or even the attachments, that you're dealing with reclassification, when in fact you are.
So the attachments that you have don't suffice?
Well, it has them generally,
This is,
it has all three of them together.
so we can amend the language of the ordinance, to
Yeah.
make sure the title's appropriate.
Yeah, we could do that.
Going to do that during the meeting, or you going to do that now?
I'll do it right after this. What I'm gonna do is just
This-
list all three jobs separately.
So you don't need any more material from us.
Um,
The exhibits you
I
have.
mean, not this time, but
The exhibits have all the
oh yeah, we got it. right here.
new job responsibilities, new everything.
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Just for a change in formatting, if that's all.
Moving on to. Where are we at? Number 3, 2026 general fund budget revised expenditures of $2,094. And the waiver of the human resources code for change in starting salary for one position in the Human Relations Commission.
Mr. Chair,
Please,
there, on page 19, I believe the language has to be adjusted. It's calling it a supplemental appropriation of $2,094.
We're aware of that. That was something that had been changed during the process. We changed that back.
so the
Super.
ordinance that goes on. Our agenda for Tuesday will read. Revised budget expenditures.
Yes.
Okay.
So just background on that position, this is something that was presented to council in the fall. And when the administration proposed the budget, they had not included the HRC or any positions in that department. So when we reinstated the department, this position had to remain at the NB12 and at the minimum salary level at that time. And Dr. Gnebus and I tried to recruit people based on that salary, posted at about 39,000 a year for a full-time investigator. We had some people interview and were interested. However, the person that we were interested in has a law degree, was a professor at a university, and also Title IX investigator. Opted for another position. This is too lengthy of a process for us to come back and determine the salary based on that individual by waiving the personnel code. So we're attempting to have this position filled by coming to you first and asking for that salary to be increased as it was initially planned for in the fall last year. So it's not really a new ask, it's the ask that we originally had last fall, and we're introducing it now this time.
It looks like the time of vacancy more than pays for increase for this budget year at least.
Right, there's no,
Next year.
it's actually a savings because we haven't hired anyone, so the money's still in the budget, there's no impact there. We're very busy and we're getting intakes all the time and we really need to have a full-time investigator. We're behind the curve on that. So it also asks for that to be moved to a second read.
Second. Okay. Council, anyone?
Mr. Chair, so the one position is the civil rights investigator?
Yeah.
We change that, one position to civil rights investigator?
I mean, that's the title for it. I don't know.
Yeah, and the title,
I mean, that is the current title of the position.
yeah, instead of one position, the starting salary for civil rights investigator.
Yeah, he's at the
To
top.
put it in,
It's a change for in starting salary for one position. I think Colin's recommending to say what that one position is.
We typically haven't done that and, but we, I mean, if that's how you want it. that's fine.
Amendments. Sure, let's change.
sounds good.
All right, number 4, 2026 appointed official salary, part-time assistant public defender.
Yes.
Hey, it's your first time.
Yes. I'm hoping this is pretty straightforward. We have a, what's that?
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. We have a couple vacant positions, so we're just filling one. I did put a little bit of information about the process they went through and how they were highly recommended and what we expect them to do within the first 90 days. Given we are short, and I did put that in the last paragraph about the positions that are open right now, we do have a need, kind of a high need to get people in there. So I am also asking for one read. I would like them to start no later than April 1st, and I know in the past, sometimes they've already began working before they've been approved, but I really don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable doing that. So that's why I'm requesting a one read.
I appreciate that. Within the budget?
Oh, yes, it's in the budget, yep.
Mr. Chair, just want. Looks similar from a budgetary standpoint where it evens out, there's no budgetary impact, and you're mentioning how we would need personnel. Code, is there anything that we have to do with this one specifically as well, or is the exhibit for B suffice?
I can't tell, I didn't see whether there was any paperwork attached to it.
It's a appointed official, it's not part of the pay plan.
Okay,
It is part of the payment. The public defender is not part of the payment.
It's an appointed official salary that we have to approve from the home rule charter.
All of the employees are subject to the
Oh,
personnel code and
I'm
pay.
sorry, I skipped ahead, I'm looking at 5. That's working at 5. Did that at 5?
All of the employees are subject to the pay plan except for the 4 offices named in the home rule charter. And those are not subject to the pay plan. They're negotiated between the administration and county council. Is that why there's no paperwork to provide kids?
No, I mean, me and Amanda have been looking, we've kind of looked back on this, we've been doing these ordinances like this for years and years and years, and it is in the home rule charter that these are appointed officials.
It does mention a public defender and their assistants.
And their
In the
assistants.
home rule charter and in the HR code as salary appointed by county council.
Yeah,
Let's look at the code.
yeah, because we were questioning ourselves, because we're like, why do we bring these down here every time, you know, we're usually down here 8 times a year, but it is in the code.
They're all technically appointed,
They are,
like me, yeah, that's my understanding.
The only time. Even the administration and finance director, everybody in county government was subject to the pay plan and the code. Until halfway through Kathy Dahlkemper's administration. And that's when it changed, but it only changed for the 4 officials that were named in the home rule charter. That's all.
So we have listed, all assistant public defenders on the pay plan also with an asterisk as being appointed officials and salary set by the county council, and that has been the practice for us to come down here. We've seen Robert's face several times to hire assistant PDs. So That is how we treated it based on how I read at least.
And I think this goes all the way back to Pat Kennedy used to
Oh,
come
it
down
does.
for every one of these,
It does.
every time. Forever.
Um,
I'll look at it.
let's keep moving. Number 5, 2026 general fund budget provides expenditures of $40,788 for salary increases and approval of a 1-year MOU agreement between lieutenants, county of Erie.
So this is, approval of an agreement with a new union group, a new bargaining group. The lieutenants at the Erie County Prison, unionized with PSSU as a first level supervisors meet and discuss group. We have a similar group at OCY for first level supervisors. So this is approval of the MOU agreement. We have never had a contract with them before, so it is the full agreement, approval of the full agreement. In addition, you will see, for this ordinance, you will see several, requests for increases to lieutenants. That is, part of this agreement, but also, the purpose of that is to right size. We have had several lieutenants over the years, promoted under different circumstances, which caused, several pretty large discrepancies between new lieutenants coming in making more than a lieutenant that had been there for 15 years. So that is why you don't see all the lieutenants. All the lieutenants did get a 3% increase January 1 of 2026, because at that time we were still considering them non-bargaining. So they fell under the non-bargaining 3% rule. But this is, again, in addition, just to right size those couple, I think there's 4 or 5. And these guys from the jail are here to answer any further questions, but that is the ask.
So, Mr. Chair. So, is this a supplemental appropriation from general fund? The 40,000?
No, in this case, again, I'm going with the revised expenditure, and we are not anticipating a supplemental appropriation because we know that we have budgeted an excess amount of bargaining wages because of their vacancies. So I'm confident that I don't need more money in the prison budget. I can take some out of bargaining to cover this.
It is. Are they still being paid out of the non-bargaining line, even though they're?
They are currently until, we have this agreement finalized, yes.
That's
Are we only talking about the union employees subject to the union agreement? Or are there other employees that are part of this?
In the next ordinance, there are a few additional employees, but in this ordinance, we're only talking about the new PSSU.
Thank you.
So that is effectively the same thing as approving a union contract.
Correct, yes.
And then the next is.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, number 6, general fund budget revised expenditures of 18,000 for salary increases.
Okay, so these are, when we were right sizing the lieutenants based on the MOU group, we realized we have the same type of discrepancies in the next level up, which is our shift captains. So this is right sizing those a couple of shift captains to make sure that we are, in line with what we're doing for some other from the lieutenant group. In addition, we have a position that is non-union that has been working at a higher level work for quite some time. The warden has asked over several years, just speaking from HR, has asked HR over several years to look at a reclassification for this position. It is the inmate services coordinator. I think that's the title. We are asking to include that as well, to take it from a 6 to a grade 11, which is equal to other grade 11 work at the jail. And does come with an increase. We are going to have a vacancy in that position. So this is going to allow us to fill that job at the level of work that job is doing. And again, these guys are here to answer any further questions about that. These are all non-union positions in this ordinance.
Questions?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, no.
These are all job classifications.
So the shift, the inmate services coordinator, yes, is a job reclassification. The shift captains are not. They're not asking for a reclass. It is strictly just a salary increase.
Okay, so the job classification remains the same.
It does, yes.
Could you, there was no reclassification paper.
For the inmate services coordinator, there should be.
There is.
We did provide that.
57.
Yeah. For the shift captains, we did not do one, because again, not a reclassification, there's no grade change.
Okay, thank you.
My favorite part of the agenda, appointments. Number 7, possible appointment of Cynthia Dropko to, oh, I pulled a Terry. You did. Dropko. To the Erie County Children and Youth Advisory Board, term to expire December 3rd. Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate your presence.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, to the Erie County Children and Youth Advisory Board, term to expire December 31st, 2027. Ms. Showerman.
I'll just say, if you didn't read it, that I had someone that had to resign for health reasons. So this is finishing out the term of that person that resigned. That's why it's 2 years.
Thank you. Moving on to number 8, possible appointment of Kylie Morris to the Erie County Human Relations Commission, term to expire December 31st, 2029 by the county executive.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
is this the new supervisor? It is.
Is there any conflict of interest, Tom? Is there any conflict of interest of appointing an elected official?
we already have elected officials on the commission, Mary Jones.
And Joe Cam's been on for decades.
She's still.
Yeah,
I mean, she may not be right now, but
Is she?
she was for the whole of her term on the HRC.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but if there was a conflict, we've been doing it.
What's the proposed conflict?
She's the supervisor now. Soon.
There's not a conflict then. That's not a conflict.
I suppose there'd be a conflict at Bell Creek at an HRC complaint, but she stayed. Possible appointment of Chelsea Alcorn to the MTA, term to expire December 31st, 2030. Also by the county executive. And moving on to number 10, possible waiver of administrative code, a possible appointment. Not gonna try it, to the Erie County Planning Commission, term to expire December 31st, 2029. This is what we've approved in the previous meeting. They're putting a waiver as she was across the street from Jim's district. One point that I'll make, the waiver calls out section 5D3D. That's not correct section, it's 5A1E.
Yeah, that should be changed. It's actually section 5, capital A, 1, small d, and small b. And that's where, that's the sections in the administrative code that gives council the discretion to be consistent with the district appointments. That it guarantees that each member has the right to appoint someone from their district. However, I saw the paperwork that preceded this. The administrative code is a law that's passed by council. Council could pass that law, it could repeal that law, it could change it anytime it wants. Of course, it has the authority, if it wants, to waive certain sections of it. If the circumstances are more important than the policy behind the rule. And in this case, the policy is, usually, and we've honored it with Charlie Bale as well, when he could not find anybody within his district, he went outside of his district to appoint someone, and council agreed at that time, as it has in the past, to waive the rule in favor of, it's always better to have, it's always better to avoid a vacancy and have a board member it's- rather than to follow the rule, which ends up in not having a member on the board, so.
Is it, it doesn't matter to me either way, but do we need to reappoint her? The way this reads, it's a possible appointment of, she's already been appointed.
Yeah, I mean, that's just procedural language. So this is the waiver of the administrative code, and I think you could eliminate possible after that. Waiver of the administrative code, Article 2, Section, etc., and appointment of Mapu Wayu.
You got it, Tom.
Okay.
Nothing else, take a motion to adjourn. Hey, Patrick?
Yes.
I'm all. Pretty sure.